What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Clark Sparks Welding. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about some of my best tips that I have for you for sales and marketing. Recently what I've been doing is I've been doing some sales and a little bit of marketing for a construction company for another welding business called Impact Industrial and Fabrication. I know some of you guys have heard of this and you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I've been doing for them, is a little bit of their sales, finding new leads for them for work and stuff like that. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, is some of the things that I've learned while doing this. So I know we've all gotten cold calls and scam calls from somebody trying to sell us something, and so that's kind of a lot of what I do in my day-to-day while I'm doing this type of work for them. Is I make a lot of cold calls, and the way that I go about doing this is I just look up businesses or people that I'd be interested in working with, people that kind of would want to hire us to do a service for them, and I'll call them and just say, once again, I talked about in my last video that I believe in being honest, believe in being truthful in doing business, no matter what it is. And so, and kind of having integrity in sort of that way. So I don't really need to fluff it up. I don't really need to lie to them, and whoever picks up the phone from the company, I don't need to lie to them and kind of trick them into getting them to talk to me. No, I'll just say what I'm calling for, say who I am, and 95% of the time it works out better for me anyways. So that's kind of my number one tip. Just be truthful. Don't be full of crap. People see right through that you don't care about them. You're just trying to get something from them. And as far as I know, nobody's going to give you what you want if all you're trying to do is just take from them, right? If you're not trying to provide them with any value in return and just trying to take, they're not going to do business with you. So that's my number one sales tip, is be truthful, be honest, and have integrity. And my second sales tip is be presentable. Get a haircut. I know my hair is getting pretty long right now and my mustache is kind of wild, but what I mean by this is be presentable. Do your hair, take off a hat, show up in a nice shirt with a logo on it and maybe even your name. And so when you go to meet people, they can associate a logo with you, with the salesman. It becomes familiar to them, and they're not doing business with a stranger, you're not talking with a stranger, and they have a positive image of you. So if you're always swearing all the time out in public and saying just raunchy things, I would stop doing that, because you never know who your next customer might be. Be presentable at all times, because you can make a sale 24/7, okay? So my third tip is to just make 1 million phone calls, okay? That's kind of the most effective way that I've found. Use these phone calls to set up meetings, to meet in person, all right? Use the cold calls not to try to make a sale right from the get-go. Use it to set up a meeting. Just pick up the phone. If a secretary answers, you say, "Hello, my name is Cape Clark. I'm with Clark Sparks Welding. I just wanted to briefly introduce myself and introduce my business. Are you the person to talk to about that, or is that somebody else?" And they might say, "Yes, I'm the person to talk to about that." "No, I'm not. I'll put you through to whoever you need to talk to, or can I get your information to pass along?" And respect that secretary a little bit, or whoever answers the phone. Don't try to push past them. That's kind of my advice. I don't need to push past you to get my information out, okay? I might just give it to the secretary, because that's almost easier. I've had an experience recently where I called a company, introduced myself. The secretary took down my name and my number and who I was, my business name, my name, and my phone number. and gave it to their manager, and then their manager a week later called me needing my service. He ended up not liking my hourly rate, so I think that he went with somebody else, which is totally fine. There's no hard feelings there. He just missed out on the best in the area. So that's kind of my three good tips for sales. You know, kind of I would personally skip the just much better way